Welcome, everybody, to another episode of On the Range Podcast with Hogg Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am Mark Kelley, along with my co-host and friend, Rick Hogg. How's it going, buddy?
Man, I am doing great, Mark. Thanks for asking. Hey, I just want to thank the viewers, listeners out there for giving us your most precious commodity, your time to tune in. Greatly appreciated, guys. Do us a huge favor, man. Hit that subscribe button, hit that rating, that review button. I don't care if it's just a thumbs up emoji. Give us something, man. We just need to bust this algorithm so that we can get better reach. And, you know, speaking of reach, here's the deal, guys. Your word of mouth, I mean, that's what solidifies this show. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, tell everybody you can. Stick it on your social platforms, everywhere. Just let them know about On the Range Podcast. Not only do we have the On the Range Podcast, but under the university, as Mark has liked to dub it, we have the vantage point where Mark kind of gives his 2 cents on some things. We've got the Warhog Words of Wisdom, where I kind of give you my 2 cents on things. And here's the deal, guys. If you really want to support the show, you guys can go to patreon.com/On the Range Podcast. You say that again, patreon.com/On the Range Podcast. Early access to all of our episodes, content exclusive just for our patrons. So don't think that everything that goes out on YouTube is everything. Nope. We got stuff exclusively for the patrons. And by the way, ready? Hope you're sitting down. Oh, this is a big one. Twice a month. Boom. Twice a month. We do Zoom calls with our patrons. And by the way, we've got to adjust sometimes because we got patrons all over the world. So to my patrons tuning in, man, guys, we appreciate the support. For those of you listening, thank you very much. Share the word. And appreciate your time. So always great to be here, Mark.
Yeah, buddy. Wherever you are, guys, thank you for making this part of your day. And we have a special guest. We're super excited about it. Mm-hmm. Coming from the marketing side of the house and influencer contracts, working with influencers and lining them up, and podcasts like ours and all kinds of stuff. Just really looking forward to picking the brain of our next guest. If you want to go ahead and give them a little rundown on who we have today, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. We've got Allie Hall. She is the social media marketing for Hoist Hydration. If you guys remember a little bit back ago, we gave you guys a coupon code for Hoist. So you can go to drinkhoist.com, use promo code OTR10, save you 10% or a boatload of cash. If you forget, easiest thing, warhog.com, kelleydefense.com, go to our industry partners page. Boom, you can track them down there if you forgot your code. But yeah, Allie runs the social media marketing for Hoist. And I think you're going to find out some interesting things about her. She's a pretty cool girl. So looking forward to this one, and hope you guys enjoy the episode. So here we go.
Buddy. Let's bring her on.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we got Allie Hall. She is the social media marketing person over at Hoist. If you guys haven't checked them out, definitely do. And don't forget, use your promo code, I can talk today, OTR10, to save you 10% on all their IV level hydration. So Allie, great having you on the show today.
Hey guys, Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we really appreciate you. Now, I'm taking in a little bit of a southern drawl. Where are you from?
I'm from South Alabama. I'm in Troy. I'm about 2 hours south of Birmingham.
Oh, okay. Is that where the home of the University of Troy is?
Yes, it is.
That's where Jerry. That's where. So thank you for being on the show and taking your time to be here. We really appreciate it. I know you're busy, and tell everybody where you are working right now and what you do.
So I work for Hoist. I recently came on with the team back in October of 2021. But to give y'all a little backstory of how I got there, I'll start with telling you about myself, because that's really where this all started. I was organically working with Hoist. I'm a avid outdoors woman. I fish, I hunt. I'm out on the boat during the summer. I'm in the woods during the fall and the winter. And I've always had Hoist. So we started working together about 2 years ago. And when I tested out their products, I immediately knew that, it was super beneficial for my lifestyle. And I specifically remember when it happened. We were on a public land hunt out in Idaho with some friends chasing elk. And I was 7 months pregnant. And I was holding everybody up. We were trekking through the mountains, and I felt like I was asking for a breather, like every, 10 to 15 minutes. And finally, I just thought, I need to sit down and eat or drink or something. Like, I can't catch my breath. I'm worn out, and I'm tired of asking for breaks. Like, I need one good, solid break. We hadn't heard bugles in a while, so I didn't feel so bad. And we sat down, and my husband handed me a strawberry lemonade Hoist. And I remember drinking that, and immediately, probably within 10 to 15 minutes, I was like, whew, that's my jam right there. That's my jam. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. And I don't think I asked for a break. I actually think one of the guys did after that for the first time for probably like an hour and a half after that. And I thought, I will never go on another hunt without one of these. I won't go out on the boat, noodling through long summer days. I won't go out on the boat without these in the cooler. Like, they were a lifesaver. And that was the moment for me that I was hooked. And so when I found out in October of 2021 that Hoist was hiring for a social media manager, and that's like my dream job, and obviously I love this company, I came on board, and I totally don't regret it. It's the best decision I've ever made.
Now, I heard something in there that I immediately got to ask about it. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing you're an avid noodler.
I am. That's my favorite.
Okay, let's dive into that, so to speak. Can you let everybody know what that is? Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
You like what I did there?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I saw that. I heard that. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So noodling, for those that don't know, is basically going underwater and grabbing fish with your hands. They're breeding and they're spawning in an area, and they're in that hole laying their eggs. And so when you stick your hand in there, they bite you to protect their nest. And you grab them then and pull them out, and that's noodling in a nutshell.
Which is pretty badass, by the way. Now, we're not talking small fish. We're talking...
Yeah, it's really easy to catch big fish noodling. It's not like going out with a rod and reel and sitting for hours, waiting over a hole. It's instant, and a lot of times you're catching fish that are over 30 pounds.
So are you wearing a glove when you do that, or are you just doing barehanded?
So I wear a glove, gloves that come up to about here. My first year I wore sleeves. And they come up, which you can actually kind of see, which is crazy on my laptop. But I stopped wearing a sleeve and regret it because now I have scars all over my arms. And I'm worried about the day my daughter asked me where they came from. But yeah, we wear gloves, or I do. My husband does not most of the time.
Yeah. Typically when you're using a rod and reel, you don't have a super good chance of getting your face bit off by a freaking catfish with a mouth this big.
Well, we've been doing it for 6 years, and my face hasn't been bit off yet. So I think we're okay. And a lot of the feedback that we get from people and questions that we get are, do you see snapping turtles? Have you ever found a snapping turtle in a hole? Have you ever seen a snake in a hole? What about a beaver? That kind of thing. And I can honestly say no. I've never seen a snapping turtle in a hole. We try to avoid beaver huts so we don't see beavers. And I've seen snakes, but they're not going to go underwater and get in a hole.
So do you have like your favorite spots you go to? Kind of like your go-tos?
Yes, absolutely. We name all of the holes that we go to because we go to like, I don't know.
Give me a name.
Okay. So there's a pontoon hole, the jet ski hole, the castle hole. We've got a lot of different holes.
Okay. Okay.
Those are just like,
it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, but that's the thing. When you talk about noodling, it can sound so terrible. Like, we'll watch videos after when we take friends out, and I'm like, man, if I close my eyes and listen to this video, it sounds so awful.
Yeah, we're talking beaver, we're talking holes, we're talking
right. Right.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. So I'm guessing you still are down south.
Mm-hmm. I am, yeah. I grew up in Birmingham, but I came down here to go to school and just loved the slower pace down here outside of Troy, and stuck around. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We don't do much noodling down south. We go out on the Alabama River sometimes to noodle, but there's a lot more gators down here than there are in central Alabama. So we do most of our noodling up north.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, go noodling for some gators. Let's ramp this thing up. Noodle for gators, right?
Yeah.
Go get your little chainmail mesh sleeve and go, bam, where are they at?
No desire. No, thank you. I remember the last time we were on the Alabama River, we were checking a hole, and as soon as my husband pulled the fish out, I looked to my right, and all I saw was a set of eyes just sitting there in these lily pads, and I was like, get in the boat, we're going home, I'm done. I guess the thrashing, like, you know, summoned him over to the area, and he was checking things out, but it was not cool.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the biggest fish you've gotten?
I've gotten one that was over 50. We bring digital scales out there with us, but 9 times out of 10, I feel like they either overweigh a fish or underweigh. But we've caught them over the 50s. I've caught a blue cat that was close to 55 pounds and a flathead that was about the same, probably closer to 60.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's way different than rod and reel. It's much more common to catch big fish because you're going straight to them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Now, you work in marketing and you work with influencers and things like that. What is the most challenging part of that for you? Because folks like us who, running in, I guess you call us influencers, have a podcast, whatever. Mm-hmm. What's the most challenging side of the house for you?
Honestly, it's like herding sheep. So it's keeping up with what everybody's supposed to be doing on behalf of Hoist and forming good relationships with those people so that it's mutually beneficial, partnership. But
right.
keeping up with what we owe them and what they owe us has definitely been the hardest for me. I've got to stay organized to do that.
Is that because of scheduling and they're just busy, or is it because sometimes you get a lemon and they just don't?
Yeah, sometimes you get a lemon. I mean, like they get some product and then they ghost you, and it's like, hey, where are you at? We were best buddies, 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be really difficult. And I hate to use the term influencer, but I've been one myself through social media. Oh, sorry guys.
Nope, you're good.
On Instagram, I have my personal page. It's Allie from Alabama. And as coming from someone who has been an influencer, still sort of is, it blows my mind at the amount of people that can take product from a company and just because I've never done that. But yeah, that's been my biggest challenge, is following up and just staying on top of people.
Yeah.
And then, Allie, what have you seen as far as the social side? I mean, you guys are in a fairly safe space as far as having a beverage company. But when you look at some of your, we'll just call them partners, influencers, whatever word you want to use, doesn't matter. Let's say they're in the firearm space. Are you guys seeing, let's say the fisherman who's a little more safe have better reach versus in the firearm side? Are you seeing anything like that as far as social goes?
I would have to say yes. Even like, for example, if I try to search an influencer that is involved in the tactical space, I have found that a lot of times they won't even come up in your search. Like if I were to look for you, I'd search War Hogg, and normally you'd pop up as soon as I type war, you would probably pop up, right? Because I've looked at your page a couple of times and you have a popular page. A lot of times these tactical influencers, I have to physically type out their entire name and then search for them to populate. It's like they're censoring and hiding those pages. I work with an optics company on the personal side, and oftentimes I'll want to go just check out their page, see if they've posted anything, any sales going on that I need to promote. And when I go to search right on Optics, which is an optics company for firearms, they do not come up. I have to physically type out the entire thing and search for them. So yeah, I do believe tactical influencers or partners are being censored in a huge way on Facebook and Instagram. And that's really sad.
So just to let you know, this is a very safe platform. We can be very politically incorrect if you want to say so. We fully believe in the First Amendment, so you can say whatever you want. So that's the beauty here, is we're not worried about getting zucked or something like that. I mean, we run, obviously this goes through Podbean and then out to all the other podcast platforms, but that was kind of one of the driving factors for us, is we saw the same thing. So why is it that somebody that's in a safe space, whatever that safe space is, it seems fitness is a pretty good spot, but like you said, as soon as you start going into the tactical side or talk about firearms or whatever, next thing you know, nobody's got, I've had people go, hey man, have you fallen off the planet? I haven't seen anything. It's like, nope, still here.
It'll hide your stories and your posts, everything. It's really sad.
Yeah.
As a hunter too, I've seen that on, several hunting I guess, personalities, I would say, on Instagram and Facebook. I don't see their posts for months, and I have to go to their page and like a couple posts to even get them to populate again on my feed. And I think part of it is that they're constantly changing the algorithm, but I also know that part of it is they don't like the content we're posting. They consider it sensitive. And so I've tried to encourage all of my followers to go to their settings and change that. Does that necessarily mean my content will show up on their feed? No. Doesn't mean I won't get censored? No. I've even had posts taken down. So it's certainly not a safe space anymore for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I've had people that were following, had the little notifications on there, all that stuff.
That's
and then
awful.
mysteriously, they hit you up and go, hey man, I thought you were gone because I was following you. Now I'm not following you. I'm not getting any notifications. I'm not seeing your posts. And there's no rhyme or reason, right? So like the post you got pulled down, it's like they say it violates their policies or procedure or policies and rules or whatever. Yeah, the terms. But then you're like, but read it, and it doesn't. So it's all this AI stuff that's going on in the background. And then, a thing that I've seen here recently that's it's kind of shocking to me, but you see a lot of people getting their accounts hacked. Mm-hmm. So I know, man, I've been getting in my DM box bombarded by people that I know. Hey man, get on Bitcoin. Okay, dude.
Yeah, or Cash App. I keep getting a bunch of Cash App, like, hey, can I Venmo or can I Cash App you $3,500? And yeah, it's crazy.
But the thing with these, right? These are people that I know, so it's just not your blind. So they've gotten their accounts hacked,
taken over. Yeah.
And I shoot them a note, say, hey man, did you get your account hacked? And they're like, yep. And here's the sad part: IG does nothing. Don't care. It's like, you can't talk to a real person. You're sending stuff via messages and you're just going, hey, help a guy out, and chuckles, or all the fake accounts or catfish out there. I mean, it's absolutely crazy that they allow that platform to run amok the way they do.
Yeah. And it's sad that they spend their energy on, censoring someone who's either speaking their beliefs, which we have freedom of speech, but if you talk about COVID, if you talk about guns, if you post dead animals, whatever, they're spending their energy taking those things down instead of removing, like you said, these spam pages and I know you said this is a safe space. So
you're good.
Like literally, like you'll have pornography basically come through your inbox of women like, hey, want to chat? And I will literally have like 30 requests of that. Why aren't those pages getting taken down? Like what's going on there? So I hear everything you're saying. Absolutely.
Interesting, Allie. It makes you think to go, all right there, Zuck, what do you got rolling on in the backside of this thing?
No joke. Yeah.
I mean, let's be an honest broker, right? So I'm not super Facebook savvy, so I don't know. That's just a pain to me just to try to work and manipulate. But when you look at the IG side, and we know they're both tied together, why is it IG is pumping you? And I understand Facebook and Instagram, they are advertising agencies for the viewers, listeners out there who don't understand that, right? But how's all this crap getting through? So it makes you raise an eyebrow to go, what do you got your sticky fingers in?
That is very.
And it just, where you look at, I'll use LinkedIn as another platform that's more to the professional side. You're not getting that rubbish. So somehow they have beat the bots. They've done whatever to make sure, hey, this is a human, I guess, interacting. Come on, Zuck, step up to the plate and just fix your platform.
Yeah, that's probably not ever going to happen.
No.
Ever. I would assume.
Now, your side of the house, so you're, a retail company, you're selling your drinks. That has to be a consideration when choosing influencers, because let's face it, it's a dollars and cents business. And are you looking for more of a reach, or you're looking for more of a target consumer?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's based on reach at all. I mean, we have influencers who have less than 1,000 followers on Instagram. So I don't really care who they're reaching. We care about who they are, what niche they fall in, and how loud their voice is. Because whatever they're doing and whoever they're speaking to, if they truly believe in Hoist and they're utilizing it in that space, those like-minded people that are following them, their friends, their network, are going to assume that Hoist is going to benefit them, just like it does them. So honestly, I'd say it really just depends on the person. I'm not ever going to say, oh, I don't want to work with so-and-so because he posts X amount pictures of guns, and so he's not going to reach but a third of his audience. You know what I mean? That doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It really is, because I feel like a lot of those influencers probably do come across that with companies, but not with us. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting to me, because I always wondered what is a attractive partnership? What's it look like, especially in the tactical space? It's you would think from an outsider that it would be just exactly that, but it's good to hear that it's not, and that you're looking at other things. So
I mean, the
that's
cool
awesome.
thing about, and I don't want to just say you tactical guys and throw you all in a bucket, but when I look at buckets, I really do think of tactical. I think of military. I think of outdoor. And so there's these separate buckets, right? But the cool thing that I have noticed when trying to find people in these spaces is that a lot of them intertwine. So like tactical and military, a lot of times intertwine, and you guys have the best networks, and you wear a lot of hats. And so you're not just posting pictures of guns and trying to look pretty with a gun, right? You're typically going to events, you're doing podcasts like this, you're making videos on YouTube. A lot of them have Patreon accounts and do workouts. And so it's not just like a bunch of women who, post a picture with a gun and that's it, you know?
Right.
And I hate to say that.
Yeah, there's no shortage of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not.
That crowd, but that is what I feel like a lot of people think of influencers as just pretty people modeling with weapons, and that's not what I'm going for. I'm looking for people with networks that truly believe in Hoist and are doing a lot of things that can help Hoist grow, and they find it mutually beneficial because they love Hoist.
Yeah.
Like y'all.
Yeah, I'm busting out the orange today.
Appreciate your support.
Me too. That's what I got. I had a strawberry lemonade.
It's my favorite.
Hey, hang on.
I'm a citrus guy.
I'm going to sit there and circle back, right? So somebody said that the strawberry lemonade was their favorite because it saved them on the hunt. Yet they're sipping on the orange. I mean, I would figure you'd have a palate, of the strawberry lemonade just sipping away, but I've got
a whole case in my fridge, but you can have too much of a good thing. And so I swap it out. I swap out orange and strawberry lemonade. And so I had a strawberry lemonade this morning and an orange now to chat with you guys when my mouth hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So you can never have too much of On the Range podcast.
No, never.
So we're going to differ on that one.
That thing just needs to be playing 24/7.
Yes.
Oh yeah. A lot of content there.
Allie, you guys have, if you want to say, already in the bottle liquid form, but you also have the powder, correct? Or the powder form, correct?
I'd love to hear about that. That.
So they're two different formulas. The powder, it was actually originally designed just with the military in mind, because Hoist is the preferred hydration of the military. We're in 90% of Army bases, aiming to be in Special Ops and Navy. We're working on that. But the powder specifically was made and approved by the DOD. The bottles are now too, but it started with the powder. So the powder is to a T what the DOD requires of any, beverage company, or I don't know the correct terminology for that, but it's to their guidelines. And so that's why we label it military hydration powder. So it has a little bit more sugar. It obviously does have color. And that is also a requirement of the military, because when it's poured into water, they want to know what it is. But the bottles, they have a little less sugar, and they don't have color. They don't have any dyes, high fructose syrup. I can talk today too. High fructose syrup.
It happens.
And they've got 3 times the electrolytes of a normal sports drink, but half the sugar. So that's what sets us apart in that space too.
Yeah.
And can you expound a little bit? Because that was one of the questions I initially asked you when we first started chatting was about the sugar.
We get that a lot. Like, why
Yep.
is there sugar? Normally, I don't get it from men though, so you were one of the first. But
Come on,
but
that's a
from
sexist
ladies,
comment.
they're
Come on.
normally like, ladies are normally really aware of that type of thing, and they're like, I don't normally drink this much sugar. Why is there sugar in it? We absolutely have to have sugar in our formula in order for it to immediately be absorbed into your bloodstream. You have to have sugar for it to be the same density. If not, like. Did you guys play sports, or did you ever have a reason to like chug a Gatorade at some point in your life?
Absolutely.
Couple.
Okay. And I remember this from high school, chugging Gatorade when playing basketball. And when I would run, I could hear my belly sloshing from Gatorade. And it's because there's so much sugar and so many carbs that it can't absorb. It sits there and has to break down and then absorb. You don't get that with Hoist. But if there was no sugar, there'd be such a low osmolality, which I can't think of the correct term for all that science either. But it'd be so low that, I mean, it wouldn't do you any good either. So we have the perfect blend of carbs, electrolytes, and sugar to immediately absorb into your bloodstream.
So now I'm gonna have to go chug one and go run down the street and see if I get anything sloshing.
Yeah.
I'll have to put my stethoscope on and be like,
yeah, I promise you
anything?
won't. I swear you won't. But another cool thing to note is we do term or say that we are 110% better than water. And here soon we're going to have some research come out from the University of Cincinnati where they did a study that proved we were 110% better than water. They took these athletes and had them drink regular water and Hoist, and they monitored their urine output in like 4-hour increments. And in some way, shape, or form, I can't wait to read the science that I'm not going to understand. But in some way, they produced 110% more urine with us. So I'll have to share that with y'all when it comes out.
All right.
We've been waiting on it for like 2 months.
I'm very curious to hear about the urine.
Yeah. Everyone wants to hear about urine output, right?
But you would think it's kind of, obviously the volume in, depending how much you're perspiring,
right.
It is gonna, so I'm curious to see how when that study finally comes out, like what was their parameters for the test.
I'm excited to hear the details of that too.
I mean, if you think about it, if you take, athlete, service member, police officer, doesn't matter, and you're putting them under some type of physical duress, hot temperature day, I mean, you're burning that stuff out of your system.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see, because I think we've all been there where, you've had those days where you might drink a lot of water, but nothing's coming out.
That is so true. Mm-hmm.
So I would just be curious to see if they've figured that one out. Hey, and again, I'm not a sweatologist, so I can't dub the proper terms, but however much you sweat out versus your intake versus your urine going out. I mean, that's going to be pretty cool. And I think that'll be a game changer for you guys, because if there's some way to capitalize on, hey, sucking in a bottle does this much more for you. That's, you think about it, just like you guys were saying, from the warfighter standpoint, if I can haul, less liquid, that's less weight, but it's giving me more bang for the buck. I'm going to ask you a crazy question when you're doing all this stuff, and I know you're looking from the human standpoint. What about our four-legged friends?
Dogs?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know that they've ever explored that. I can honestly tell you, and I saw pictures of it, that my dog loves it. Whenever we go like shed hunting and fishing, we always take a bottle with us, and he'll be panting, and I'll just sit there and give it to him. I literally have pictures of him just taking it down. But I don't know that they've ever like dug into that. So that's a really good point.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, when I was working my dog overseas, yes, my Camelback just had water in it. But if I sit there from the standpoint of going, hey, I can cut my weight by having less. Now, if I need to give him water, well, he's actually ingesting Hoist. What's the benefits, for him on that standpoint?
I really like that you just brought that to the table, because that is certainly something I'd like to discuss with the team. That's a really cool thought.
Yeah, because again, we think typically, yes, the warfighter for the majority part does have 2 legs. We do have warfighters that have 4 legs. And again, if I don't have to haul double stuff, or I can haul something that's less weight for me, that's more bang for the buck.
Heck yeah.
Well, I think that's the immediate payoff right there is just your payload just goes down.
Yeah.
If it's that much better, that is an immediate payoff right there.
I mean, if I can carry 1 bottle, right, or the powder pack, or however, whatever works out to be the best. If I can carry 1 of these versus 2 other, 2 liters of water, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Heck yeah.
So sit there and whether I suck this thing down on the helo ride and go, hey, I'm plussed up, ready to go. I mean, definitely has benefits there.
Yeah.
So let's back up a little bit. You said that you were in the influencer space, which, I don't like the word either, but you were in that space.
Yeah.
And then you got a call, or you found that Hoist was hiring.
Mm-hmm.
What was that transition like, and how did that make you feel, being able to do something on the other side?
So I actually worked a 9-to-5 job with Wells Fargo for 6 years. So the influencer space has never been my main source of income. It never will be. I don't want it to be. But it is really cool. So when I was working at Wells Fargo, I was a service manager. And when the pandemic hit and politics just got nastier and the environment just got nastier, and me having a newborn at home, I was getting pretty miserable. And I remember thinking, I just want to use my marketing degree, and I'm not even doing that. I was running a cooler page at the time, Big Frig Coolers on Instagram. So I was kind of dabbling in that space a little bit with running social media. I had done an internship with an app called Go Wild, which is an outdoor app that's supposed to be like a safe space for outdoor enthusiasts. So I had kind of dabbled in all of these different little areas, and then obviously had my page on the side and was learning a lot through that as far as partnerships go. But I wanted it to be my full-time thing. And then all of a sudden in October, Rachel, she's the director of sales or of business development at Hoist. She just shot me a text or an email and was like, hey, no, you run the Big Frig page, so you probably know someone else who's involved with social media, and we're hiring. What would you just send them my way? We can't seem to find anyone, and we're willing to do it remote. And I'm like, I'm very spiritual, and I'm like, hey man upstairs, thank you so much. You just sent this my way. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And I remember crying when I read her email. I pulled over on the side of the road. I had just got done hunting, and I pulled over on the side of the road and just cried. And I called my husband and I said, they haven't even offered me a job or anything, but I just know this is for me, because I already loved Hoist. And then for my dream job to be there, it was just amazing. But all of that to say, excuse me, I was working as an influencer too. So I was working and influencing. So it really wasn't a huge transition for me. I've always had responsibility. I've always had to-do lists. It's just been a heck of a lot more fun than what my other job was. And I actually love it. So that's the only transition, is that I wake up and I'm like, is this real? I actually love my job, and I'm not dealing with a nasty political environment and feeling like I'm going to have to get a vaccine tomorrow. And I get more time with my kid. Oh my gosh, it's such a godsend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome. What a story.
Thank you.
So how much dabbling are you trying to do, with hashtags and stuff like that, to work the algorithm at all? Or you guys just kind of have your standard ones? Or I see the look. I'll let you go.
I've pretty much given up on them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a joke, right? It's a joke. So I feel like you can post 100 hashtags and spend all of your time trying to find the hashtags that are trending, and just try to figure that out. Or what our game plan is just to utilize our 2 big ones, which is Drink Hoist and our campaign for 2022, which is Live Exhausted, and just own those hashtags. And the people that we work with, have them own those hashtags and just be organic about it. Because in reality, at the end of the day, you can go look at any of our competitors like Body Armor or Gatorade or whoever, and they may have 1 million followers, and they'll probably still only get 100 likes on one of their pictures. Right. Probably because it's robots or whatever and they're following. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, what we try to say is followers and likes are not translating to sales. What matters is the people that we work with and the people that we're sampling to. We have a group of veterans that literally travel 300 and I think they said 350 days a year or something like that. They go to different events and they just put Hoist in the hands of people that can use Hoist. Like they go to obstacle course races. They go to like Fort Bragg, Fort Benning, West Point, and they do all these different military samplings. And so those are the things that really matter. Not to say that social media doesn't, but I'm not going to spend my time worrying about hashtags when I could spend that time finding more people that truly believe in Hoist and are going to help us get out there in organic ways, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh no, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And
makes perfect sense.
Do y'all have TikTok or Patreon or any of those platforms? Yeah.
Oh, so you should go to patreon.com/on-the-range-podcast and support the show.
I'm on Patreon. I must need to, because I'm hearing that like that's a good space, but I'm still trying to figure out.
But Patreon, it's a paid space, right? So I don't know, for Hoist directly, if that would benefit. How Patreon kind of helps us is you have people that want to support the show. So we've got different levels in there. For our top level guys, kind of one of our big deals is we do a Zoom call twice a month with our patrons. So we have to adjust the times a little bit because we've got people all over the world. So some guys, to see them up there at 2:00 in the morning on their time, you're just like, okay.
Aww.
Yeah. It's like, hey guys, we're going to readjust the time. So again, you're trying to deal with guys on the West Coast. You're trying to deal with guys all over the globe. Hey man, here's our times. If you guys can make it, great. If you can't, but we do the Zoom calls. We do content specific for the patrons. So that's kind of the benefit of Patreon. I don't know from a business standpoint what you guys would get, on that one. So here's a prime example. So the patrons were the first out of the gate to get the promo code. So you let them, so we try to give them benefits. So we try to let them have early access to the shows before. So the shows don't go public. They kind of sit on the shelf for a little bit. The patrons have access when they're ready and they can hear them early. When we partnered up with you guys, as soon as we got the coupon code, it's like, boom, hey guys, here it is. So you're trying to give those guys the benefits that they support the show. We want to support them.
Right.
And that's kind of the way, we work that one.
Yeah,
and then we've also got we've got our private page on Facebook that kind of ties it all together as well.
I feel like I'm still trying to learn a lot more about Patreon, but from what I gather and what you just reiterated is that there's a lot more loyal, not fan base, but people on there. Like they pay to see you. Like they believe what you say. They want to do what you're doing. They want to know what you recommend. And so I don't think, like you said, from a business standpoint, does it make sense for Hoist to have their own page? No, probably not. But it's certainly a space where, from an influencer standpoint, I want to start digging deeper, because if they really believe in Hoist and they go on Patreon and say it, I feel like it does so much better than if they go on their Instagram or Facebook, where who knows if anyone's going to see it, right? Especially if they're involved in the tactical space. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. And then as far as TikTok goes, I feel like the age group that's on TikTok is not necessarily our target audience, and they're not loyal. And so they may try something once, but they're not the type that's going to, subscribe for a case of Hoist every month. And I do feel like TikTok has become a very unsafe place for tactical people, for military people, for outdoor people. I know if I post anything that even has a glimpse of a deer or a turkey, sometimes even fish, they take it down for violent content. So I was curious to see if y'all are on TikTok, you'll have that issue.
So our crushing audience at TikTok, because we try to dabble with TikTok, right? Because again, you're trying to figure out the spaces. I know for a fact there's a couple gun video pick stuff like that, and they haven't touched it, probably because we've got such a crushing reach on TikTok, so yeah.
Y'all just say you don't, like, that's sarcasm, like you don't have a reach at all.
We got a handful of people, I mean,
The thing is, though, but that's how you know that something is going on, because I think I got on TikTok for the first time in like 2020, the end of 2020. I don't even know where it came from or why, but I was like, I'm going to get on there and put a noodling video on there and just see how it does.
mm-hmm.
Within, I don't know, 6 hours, this noodling video hit like 1.1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized, like, dang, the algorithm on here is crazy. And so I feel like there is potential to reach, I don't know, probably 10 times the amount that you would, probably even more than that, on Instagram and Facebook. But to hear you say that makes me realize they probably censored your stuff as soon as it was up. I don't know what your videos were. You said they had like weapons in them.
Yeah, but that was later on. We tried to do snippets from the show, because that was really the whole thing, right? So our On the Range podcast TikTok was dabbling, because we had a bunch of people going, man, you guys need to get on TikTok. So, okay, we'll try it, right?
Yeah.
The problem is not really knowing how to work the platform, right? So they got hashtags as well. How to, what title you sticking on trending there? Yeah.
Right.
So now it goes from where you're trying to get a space. So even I just look at Instagram, right? I don't put any hashtags that say anything gun related, because I don't want to throw up a flag.
Yeah.
Right. So we're very benign. Yeah. We're very benign on those. So, but then you talk to, TikTok, and it's like, well, you're not even targeting who you're trying to target. You're trying to target the trending hashtag. I don't know. It just seems like a dog chasing his tail. So, I mean, honestly, it's like,
I understand.
But really, I mean, for me, so when I first kind of started everything, I was very naive and thought that social was kind of the thing, right? And really, I've shifted gears. Yes, social is a free platform. It's free marketing, because in essence, all these platforms are marketing platforms. Zuckerberg wants your money to get a better boost, post, push, whatever, right?
That's right.
Fine. But when, because people used to ask, hey, where can we find you at? And they're always referring to social. Hey, go to Instagram, find me at, Warhog Tactical. We've changed that tune. People go, hey, where can we find you at?
Our website.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go to warhog.com. And by the way,
tomorrow Instagram or Facebook could end. It could just be totally gone.
Or they could just dump me.
Yeah,
right?
Or that. But think of all these businesses that fully operate, just about probably 80% of their business, even shopping for their business, is done through Instagram and Facebook, right?
Nope.
That crashes, that's gone tomorrow. What are you going to do?
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
That's a scary
thought. Yeah.
It is. It really is.
You have to drive them to the website, right? So that was kind of, I don't know what that aha moment, and Mark, I don't know if you remember, because I think I told you, we were chatting one day, but it was one of these where it's like, hey man, I don't care. I don't say it in a bad way. And I'm not saying I don't care about, if you want to say the people that follow the loyal ones, the ones that I kind of know, you get to have people interact. But if you really care for either, Warhog Tactical, Kelley Defense, you go to our website, you sign up for our newsletters. Because now that's the true interaction, right? So here we are, whether we opt to email you our blogs, our monthly newsletters, weekly newsletters, however often we're putting out, hey, new class schedule, new promo codes, whatever we have got, that to me, that's your moneymaker, right? You're just asking those people on social, hey, I'm just asking you to go there, divert right there. If you're smart, you got Linktree or something like that, because again, you want to make life as easy as possible for people. And unfortunately, we're in a day and age where if I've got to hunt and peck and look, people just want the clicks or the presses or do whatever to get to wherever. So
I think the biggest thing was when the email campaigns first started going out for some class events that we had together. We both pushed out an email campaign. So now some of them are cross-pollinated there. We have some that follow both. But once we did that and we saw an immediate return in the bumps that we would get on social, we knew that came from the website. And like you said, the target audience, the demographics for us, they're in that, late 20s, early 50s group.
The more
They're not
loyal
going to be
people
on.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's face it. The target demographic that everybody's chasing for sales too. It's that right in that wheelhouse.
That's right.
And they're going to be on websites. They're not going to be on. Not going to be on TikTok.
That's
Even
right.
though it's a lot of fun. Have you ever checked out on Twitter libs of TikTok?
I haven't.
Libs of
hilarious?
TikTok. It is the absolute best Twitter page on Twitter. What they do is they scour TikTok and have all these just insane lib videos, and they're amazing.
I'm literally making a note on my phone in my notes.
You will not be sorry.
Oh,
You will
God.
not be sorry. It's the absolute, but with the exception of Warhog Tactical Inc. and
Well, yeah,
and
because
Mark Kelley.
Warhog Tactical
that goes
on
without saying,
Twitter,
I think.
On Twitter is just crushing it. Another platform.
Libs
Can't
on
figure it out.
TikTok. Libs
I'm
on
gonna find
TikTok.
that. As soon as we get
the
off of here,
best.
I'm gonna find that.
It's the best. Yeah, that and the Iron Sheik. Remember the old Iron Sheik wrestler?
Oh, dude, is he on
Dude,
there?
He is hilarious.
Has he still got his shoes?
Yeah.
Remember those big?
He's got to
curly
be. He's
toes?
got to be 80 years old.
Probably at least.
He looks like he can still get after it, though. I wouldn't want to.
No.
I wouldn't want to run up against the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
So, what is the big thing that Hoist, and you in particular, that you're working on, you have coming up? What's the big announcement? You got a big announcement or flavor or event coming up?
Oh no, you're trying to get me in trouble.
Yeah. It's going to be exclusive for the On the Range podcast. Early release of the big events.
We have a big thing coming out this spring.
Okay.
That is all I can say.
Ah.
However, I would gladly, after I get permission, because I'm not one to ask
Okay.
for forgiveness later. I'd rather ask permission.
Mhm.
I'd be
Okay.
glad to let you two know in advance. So if on your Patreon
Okay.
you want to go tell everyone what's going to happen and have a unique code for this big thing that's happening, you will know
Okay.
first.
Now we're
All
talking.
right.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I just got this job in October. I can't lose it yet, guys. Really good job.
Not
Really
not
good.
asking you to crush anything. That's all good.
Yeah.
Thank
and-
you.
Yeah.
But we
We-
do know, because we've chatted before. You guys will be down here at Fort Bragg for All American Week.
Yes, that was
Nice.
so cool
So-
that we shared that same
Yep.
event. That's really cool.
May 24th, 25th, 82nd Airborne
Yeah.
during All American Week will conduct their 2-day shooting competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And-
going to be. I'm really looking forward to that. Rick and I's alma mater.
Yeah.
so to speak.
Aw, that's so
And,
cool.
The beauty is that they're allowing vendors to come on post, which typically they haven't done in the past.
Yeah.
You're all gonna meet some fun people.
Listen, it's always great going back. Even though I think last
Aw.
time we were on Postmark, we couldn't find
Oh no.
where the 05 moved to, but that's here nor there. We'll ask somebody for some directions.
Half the streets are gone,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all the buildings are gone that we
Yeah.
inhabited. Yeah.
Our old
back in the
barracks
day.
is all
Been that
gone.
long?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Y'all are aging
you pro-
yourselves.
Well,
Big
you
time.
know-
Well, we're not going to, but yeah.
Let's
There's
just
a
say
hell of
we're
a lot more
seasoned.
runway behind us than there are in front of us. You know
We're
what I'm saying?
seasoned. We're seasoned. I love that.
Seasoned. Yeah.
So,
Seasoned and wise. That's all.
Oh,
but yeah. So you got something. So stay tuned. So if you guys aren't tracking, what's the
Yeah.
best way? Is it do you guys prefer doing people go to your email sign up or your newsletter? You prefer
Yeah,
people
if they
checking
do
out on
that,
social? What's your driving factor?
Obviously we want to be like you guys and send them to the website because Zuckerberg could do whatever he wanted to tomorrow and say screw this all. But website is a good way to go. You can subscribe on there and set up where you will get monthly cases, and if they do that, they'll actually save 15%. The military, if they have their government code, they will always save 10%. So it's always great to go through the website. However, we are on Amazon. We are in a lot of retail stores. Depending on what state they're in, the best thing to do is probably to just go to our website and plug in their zip code if they want to just go buy single bottles. Because if you buy through the website, you're going to get a full case. We're working on getting a variety case sent out. So like when you guys tried Hoist for the first time, we sent all the flavors in one case.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's going to be the goal for consumers too. We don't want them to have to buy a 12-pack of strawberry lemonade, a 12-pack of orange, a 12-pack of watermelon, whatever. So we're working on getting mixed.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, please.
Do a 4-pack.
Yeah, so that's another thing. In retail, we're actually dropping to 6. We tried the 4, and I can't remember. I don't know if it's the shipping or what that comes out so weird. But we're doing a 6-pack.
But target, well, I mean, you could do the 6, but I'm saying if you target the 4 specifically for dub it the sampler pack, right? So that now when that new customer who, I don't know, do I want to invest in a whole case? I would say yes, because I'm going to use my promo code OTR10 to save me 10% and be sitting there chuckling to the bank and save me a boatload of cash. Or
very nice. Yeah.
If you like that, buddy, or
very nice.
Shameless plug.
You can sit there and just have a little sampler to go, all right, let me try a quick 4. And then if you forget, drinkhoist.com, you can always go to either warhog.com or kellydefense.com and go to our industry partners page, and boom.
Well, let me
That'll
tell you
be a quick reminder.
And
quick reminder with the promo code.
Take it as you will. We have 5 flavors now, right? We've got orange, strawberry lemonade, watermelon, peach, mango, and dragon fruit. There's a reason we need 6.
Gotcha. I gotcha. So we might see something. So we might see something this spring. Let's just say
they'll find out on your.
Now, are you taking suggestions?
What's your suggestion? I just want to know out of curiosity.
Flavor suggestions?
Yeah. What's your suggestion on flavor?
Okay.
What's everyone's favorite? If you, as a kid, what color Gatorade did you drink?
Orange. I'm an orange.
So, wait. When I was a kid, I only remember the lemon lime. There's only one flavor.
This was. I'm sorry. That's disgusting.
That is
and it came in a glass bottle.
Horrible.
Oh my god! Stop aging yourselves. I warned you earlier. Stop.
Yeah.
We can talk about 8-tracks if you want.
A glass bottle? Are you serious?
Yeah.
What about grape? You mean grape?
We'll see. We got dragon fruit already, and it's purple.
Oh, it's a purple bottle. It's clear liquid.
I dig the mango. The mango's really good too. The
peach mango. Peach mango too. Yeah. I think my really least favorite is the dragon fruit. That's why I forgot that one. But
yeah,
we get that feedback a lot. Either people love it or they're just not a fan. There's no really in between folks on the.
So what flavor that you said was everybody's favorite?
My favorite as a kid was blue.
Okay.
Was the cool.
They didn't even have blue. I think when I was a kid, I don't think they even had blue. It was just.
It was the lemon lime, right? And then I think they had the orange. Right? I think that was it.
Man, they've come a long way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely come a long way.
Here's the thing, Allie. If you really want a true musical experience, if you can find an 8-track player, typically on track 2, when the song breaks it's going from track 1 to track 2, whatever that 4th song is usually stops, breaks halfway, then it has to go to track 2. Oh yeah. You're missing out on.
Sounds really convenient.
No.
I think I'll stick to my iPhone and Apple Music.
Spoiled.
Yeah, very.
Well, we love the product. We love all the flavors, and you're natural. You're natural. This was super easy, quick hour, and I really hope you guys are continuing to do what you do, because it's been a lot of fun, and it's just a great product, and you're doing a heck of a job, and we really appreciate your time today. Really appreciate it.
I really appreciate y'all. We'll go far as long as we keep connecting with people like y'all, so that means a lot.
Too easy.
Now, you guys, some of you guys are based out of Cincinnati, right?
Yes, the whole team except for me and our sales reps that are in different regions.
So, how rough was the loss for those guys? Have they talked about it?
I didn't even. We're all in Slack to keep up with each other, and normally I'll go in there and be like, "Good morning. What's everyone up to? What's everyone doing?
Yeah.
What is the win for the day?" It was crickets, just total crickets, and I thought, I'm not about to be the first one to hop in here. Plus, they were all probably curing hangovers with Hoist, so that could also be why it was silent. But yeah, that was y'all. I went up there February 9th through 11th, and it was the coolest thing. The whole downtown was lit up in orange. Everyone's talking about Who Day. The airport had balloons and huge lights, and everyone was so pumped. And to watch that game and see it all unfold in the 4th quarter, I'm like, no, I wanted this for them so bad, and I'm not even a Bengals fan. So it was really sad, but they should be proud. I mean, they should be really proud.
Yeah, the shoe was going to drop at some. The other shoe was going to drop at some point with the way they won the previous 3 games away at home. Not at home.
That's true. You can't do that 4 times. Yeah.
You can't expect to keep doing that. So.
Yeah, I agree. But it was hard for them, and I hated it for them. It was the same for me, right? With Roll Tide and the SEC championship this year, it's like, or the national championship. It's like, oh, we can't win. Alabama didn't win. Cincinnati didn't win. We all need to pick different teams.
Well, the year before that, or no, 2 years before that, Burrow went down there and stung you guys too.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, remember he played for LSU.
That's right. And he still wears that stupid bracelet. I'm like, take that thing off or I really can't cheer for you guys. Like, I want to be a Bengals fan.
Yeah. They were a very likable team. It was a lot of fun.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Where's that stupid
Now I really
Where's that stupid bracelet?
Yeah, it's annoying. You're not at LSU anymore. Take it off.
Yeah. So.
Tell us.
That's
Allie,
probably
tell us
why
how
they
you
lost.
really feel.
Yeah. Well, drinkhoist.com.
Yes, please.
Promo code OTR10. Thank you very much. I really we had a blast. Had a blast. You're gonna have to come back. Come back on the big announcement. Just come on back.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
All right, man. You guys take care.